Welcome back to episode 5 of Building the Dark Island, and I want to get straight into this, so let's do that right now. So last week I worked on this section and briefly started part 4 or section 4, and right now I have so much of that done. First of all, this lake section is finished now. It's just gonna go off the border of the island, and then also the kind of wall section is done for Garmatron's camp. I do need to build the inside and these actual brown walls, but hopefully we can get that done, because this area here I do plan to expand with tracks for the Garmatron, and that's what we're going to be building this episode. Along with that, the beach also kind of needs to be done, and then there's only going to be one module left. That will be
the Temple of Light.
Now let's build this Garmatron because it's going to be very important. So the Garmatron is finished, and personally I really love this build. I don't really have anywhere to put it, but we'll just place it down here. So the actual Garmatron consists of a large cannon, 2 spikes on the front, and 2 treads. These treads do work, and if you remember back to the first episode, I have the original Garmatron set, but to me this is a big upgrade. Now along with that, there is one play function, which you can probably already guess if you've seen the show. That is, if you have your Lloyd minifig, you can move this down, and Lloyd can kind of be trapped. And of course he just falls out, once again just like in the show. Now, honestly I don't really know what else we're gonna do for this episode, but I do want to try get this beach section done, because then there's only 2 more episodes before the finale. And for Garmatron's camp I do plan to build some interior, but right now I think I'm going to build some foliage. Alright, so we're going to start building some foliage, and this is going to be pretty important, so let's get started. So while I'm building here, I did want to mention a few things about the Dark Island series. First of all, next episode will be the last actual episode before we go into the finale. Now if you have any suggestions or feedback, make sure you leave that below, because that's going to be pretty important for next week's episode, before you can't really give feedback. Alright, so I've finished building some plants, and I have a ton more bushes. Hopefully this can more densely populate the map, and let's get to the next segment. And for this episode of the Dark Island, we're just going to leave it here, because although it looks like we didn't accomplish too much, we really did. Now if you haven't seen the other episodes, check those out. Thank you so much for watching, and peace. If you've gone this far, you are a real one. Comment "Bye" below.